Hello, everyone. We want to share with you a realistic experience of a U.S. citizenship interview. In this case, the applicant had made two changes to the N400 form after initially filing, and she had also received two traffic tickets in the past. This scenario is valuable for practice, as the officer asked so many personal questions, yes no questions, as well as word definitions. These types of questions are quite common in an actual citizenship interview, and it's important to be prepared for them. By practicing, you can become familiar with the kinds of questions the officer might ask and the way in which they'll expect you to respond. This will allow you to answer smoothly and confidently during the real interview. In this practice, try to pretend that you're the one being interviewed. Answer the questions as clearly and as naturally as possible. Take your time and don't rush through the responses. This will help you feel more relaxed and in control when it's time for the actual interview.
Mrs. Martina Moreno.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hello there. I'm Officer Tom. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. And how are you?
I'm good too. Thank you for asking.
Just want to make sure I'm speaking with the right person. Could you kindly provide your full name for me?
My full name is Martina Moreno.
Also, could you tell me your date of birth and nationality?
My date of birth is July 13th, 1983, and I'm of Colombian nationality.
Great. Let's head to the room now. Follow me, please. Please show me your ID, appointment documents, and your Colombian passport.
Here they are.
Thank you. You can place the rest of your things on the table, but stay standing. Before we proceed, I need to place you under oath to ensure you're being truthful during this interview. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please have a seat. Do you understand what the truth is?
Yes, I understand. It is not false.
Good. Have you ever submitted any false, fraudulent, or misleading information or documents to U.S. government officials?
No, never.
We're going to begin the civics test now. Do you feel ready for it?
Yes, I feel prepared, since I've been studying for almost 2 years.
Excellent. What is the economic system in the United States?
Market economy.
Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states?
Give a driver's license.
When must all men register for the Selective Service?
At age 18.
Name the U.S. war between the North and the South.
The Civil War.
What ocean is on the west coast of the United States?
Pacific Ocean.
Who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
Thomas Jefferson.
You've completed the civics test with 100% accuracy. Great job. Now, we'll move on to the next steps in the process. I need to take your fingerprints and capture a photo for your records. First, could you please place your left index finger on the scanner, making sure it's positioned flat and steady. Thank you. Now, please switch to your right index finger and place it on the scanner as well. Perfect. Now, we'll move on to your photo. Please look directly at the camera in front of you, and make sure to keep your eyes open in a natural, relaxed way. Thank you for your patience and cooperation. Now that we've completed this part, we're ready to move on to the next section, which is the reading and writing test. Can you see the sentence on the tablet?
Yes, I can see it.
Can you read that sentence clearly?
Who was the first president?
I'm going to read a sentence to you. I want you to listen carefully and then write down exactly what you hear, word for word. Make sure to take your time and focus on what I say, okay?
Sure, I got it. I'm ready.
Washington was the first president. Excellent. Can you tell me how you qualify for naturalization?
I've been a lawful permanent resident for 7 years. I've never broken the continuous resident requirement, and I believe I meet the good moral character requirement.
Okay. Are you applying for naturalization under the general provisions?
Yes,
Who sponsored you?
my sister sponsored me.
What is the date you became a lawful permanent resident of the U.S.?
March 11th, 2018.
Have you ever lived in the United States before you were granted lawful permanent residency?
No,
You were born in Colombia, is that correct?
yes, I was born in Colombia.
Are you a dual citizen or have citizenship from multiple countries?
No, I am only a Colombian citizen.
You made only one international trip in the last 5 years, is that correct?
No, I actually made a mistake. I actually took 2 international trips in the last 5 years. I completely forgot about the first trip, and unfortunately, I didn't include it when I filled out the N400 form. Would it be possible for you to update that information for me?
Yes, of course. I will update that trip in the system right now. Can you provide the details of that trip, including the date you left the U.S. and the date you returned?
Yes, I left the US on October 14th, 2021, and I returned to the US October 20th, 2021. I went on vacation to the Bahamas.
Great. On your most recent trip, you left the U.S. on May 21st, 2023, and you returned on June 2nd, 2023. And you traveled to Colombia during that time. Is everything correct?
Yes, everything is correct.
Have you ever stayed outside the U.S. for more than 6 months at any point?
No, I've never stayed outside the US for more than 6 months. I've always maintained my residence here and have never been away for that long.
Good. Is either of your parents a U.S. citizen?
No, neither of my parents is a US citizen.
Do your parents live with you now?
No, my parents currently live in Colombia. I'm the only one living in the US.
Did you visit them on your most recent trip?
Yes, I visited my parents as well as other relatives during my trip to Colombia.
All right. Have you ever used any different names?
No,
On the N400 form, you previously indicated that you wanted to change your name. Have you reconsidered your decision?
I'm sorry. I've changed my mind. I don't want to go through with the name change anymore. Could you please make the update to the form for me?
I'll make the changes right now. I've already canceled the name change request on your application.
Thank you.
Can you provide your social security number?
794630876.
You remember the number very well.
I made an effort to memorize important information like that to make sure I can provide the correct details during the interview.
Great. What is your phone number?
334 827 3619.
Do you know what your height is?
Yes, my height is 5 feet 3 inches.
Your current address is 1225 Westfield Lane, Montgomery, Alabama, 36117.
No, I moved shortly after I filled my U.S. citizenship application. The address you mentioned was my previous residence. My new address is 9424 Heathrow Drive, Montgomery, Alabama, 36117. Can you help me update the new address in the system?
I'll do it right now. But I need to collect more details regarding this change. Can you provide me with the exact date when you moved to the new address?
Sure. I moved to the new address on April 8th, 2024.
When did you leave the previous address?
I left the previous address on the same day I moved to the new one. That date was April 8th, 2024.
How long have you lived at the previous address?
I lived at the previous address for 6 years, starting after I arrived in the US.
All right. Are you currently employed?
Yes. Currently, I'm employed. I work at Valmont Industries.
How long have you been working there?
I've been working there for 2 years now.
What work do you do?
I work as a quality control inspector.
Your previous occupation was a production inspector at Stratosphere Quality Company. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You worked at Stratosphere Quality Company from October 21st, 2018 to December 7th, 2023?
Yes, that's correct. I worked there for just over 5 years.
How many times have you been married?
I've been married once.
Where did your marriage take place?
It took place in Colombia.
How many children do you have?
I have one child.
Is Mauricio Robledo your child's name?
Yes, that is his name. Maruccio Robledo is my son.
What is your child's date of birth?
His date of birth is November 2011.
Is he your biological child with your current spouse?
Yes.
What is your spouse's legal name?
My husband's legal name is Roberto Robledo.
Does your spouse live at the same address as you?
Yes, we live together at the same address.
Is your spouse a U.S. citizen?
No, my husband is not a U.S. citizen. He is a permanent resident.
What is your spouse's occupation?
My husband works as a UPS driver.
Was your spouse married before?
No, my husband was not married before. This is his first marriage.
I'm going to ask you some additional questions to make sure that you meet the requirements for good moral character. Please respond to each question with a simple yes or no.
Okay.
Since you became a lawful permanent resident, have you called yourself a non-resident alien on a federal, state, or local tax return? Or decided not to file a tax return because you considered yourself to be a non-resident?
No.
Have you ever registered to vote or voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
No.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with, or have you ever provided money, a thing of value, services, or labor, or any other assistance or support to a group that used a weapon or explosive with intent to harm another person or cause damage to property?
No.
Do you currently owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes in the United States?
No.
Do you understand what overdue means?
Yes, I understand. It means past a deadline.
Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any communist or totalitarian party anywhere in the world?
No.
Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States?
Yes.
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
Yes.
Do you understand the meaning of bear arms?
Yes, I understand. It means to own or use a gun.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in torture?
No.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in injuring or trying to injure any person intentionally and severely?
No.
Have you ever served in, been a member of, assisted, or participated in any armed group? For example, self-defense unit, paramilitary unit, rebel group, vigilante unit, or guerrilla group?
No.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in causing harm or suffering to any person because of their race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion?
No.
Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in not letting someone practice their religion?
No.
Have you ever worked, volunteered, or otherwise served in a place where people were detained? For example, a jail, prison, detention facility, prison camp, or labor camp? Or have you ever directed or participated in any other activity that involved detaining people?
No.
How would you explain the labor camp?
A place to force people to work.
Good. Have you ever ordered, incited, called for, committed, assisted, helped with, or otherwise participated in genocide?
No.
Have you ever been arrested, cited, detained, or confined by any law enforcement officer, military official in the U.S. or elsewhere, or immigration official for any reason, or been charged with a crime or offense?
Yes.
What happened?
I received 2 traffic tickets.
What were those tickets for?
One ticket was for speeding. I was caught driving over the speed limit. The other ticket was for a car accident that occurred while I was driving.
Were you at fault in the car accident?
Yes, I was at fault in the car accident. I acknowledge my responsibility for the incident and I have learned from it.
Why did the accident occur?
The accident happened because I hit another car while trying to change lanes.
When did it happen?
The accident occurred on April 25th, 2021.
When did you receive the speeding ticket?
I received the speeding ticket on November 9th, 2023.
Have you paid off both tickets?
Yes, I've paid off both tickets.
Do you have receipts or any paperwork that shows you paid them off?
Yes, I do have the receipts and the documentation that show I paid both tickets. The paperwork includes confirmation of the payments and the details of the tickets.
Thank you. Have you ever committed, agreed to commit, asked someone else to commit, helped commit, or tried to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested?
No.
Have you ever engaged in prostitution, attempted to procure or import prostitutes or persons for the purpose of prostitution, or received any proceeds or money from prostitution?
No.
Have you ever lied to any U.S. government officials to gain entry or admission into the United States, or to gain immigration benefits while in the United States?
No.
Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States?
No.
What does misrepresentation mean?
To lie or give wrong information.
Have you ever been removed or deported from the United States?
No.
Have you ever married someone in order to obtain an immigration benefit?
No.
Have you ever given any U.S. government officials any information or documentation that was false, fraudulent, or misleading?
No.
Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
Yes.
Have you ever helped anyone to enter or try to enter the United States illegally?
No.
Have you ever been placed in removal, rescission, or deportation proceedings?
No.
Have you ever manufactured, cultivated, produced, distributed, dispensed, sold, or smuggled any controlled substances, illegal drugs, narcotics, or drug paraphernalia in violation of any law or regulation of a U.S. state, the United States, or a foreign country?
No.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes.
Are you unable to take the oath of allegiance because of a physical or developmental disability or mental impairment?
No.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
Yes.
Do you know the definition of work of national importance?
Tasks that are important to a nation.
Okay, now please take a moment to look at the tablet and carefully review the updated form that's displayed. Make sure all the information is correct. If you notice any errors, please let me know so I can correct them right away. Once you're satisfied that all the details are accurate, please scroll down to the last page. Kindly sign there to confirm that everything is correct. Now we go to the next page, which contains the oath of allegiance to the United States. Take your time to read through the entire oath carefully. Make sure that you fully understand the meaning and the commitment it involves. Once you've read and understood the full text, please sign at the bottom of the page. Perfect. You've successfully passed all the required tests. After reviewing your application, I believe you are well deserving of U.S. citizenship. However, because you received 2 traffic tickets in the past, I will need to submit your application to my supervisor for review and signature. Please don't worry. Your application is expected to be approved without any issues. Once your application is approved, we will send you a notice regarding the oath ceremony. It should take a few weeks for you to receive the notice. Make sure to attend the oath ceremony at the designated time, all right?
Yes, thank you so much.
Do you have any questions at this point?
No, I don't have any question.
All right, sounds good. I'll conclude the interview here. Let me take you to the front desk.
Thank you. Have a great day.